Hello everyone, and welcome back to How to Travel. The United States of America has some of the largest lakes in the world. These lakes provide freshwater sources to surrounding states, as well as scenic views, recreational areas, and fishing opportunities. Here are the 10 biggest lakes in the United States. Number 1. Lake Superior. Lake Superior is the largest lake in North America, and one of the Great Five lakes which border the United States and Canada. In Canada, it borders the province of Ontario, while on the US side, it touches Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. By surface area, it also is the world's largest freshwater lake, and ranks third largest in terms of volume. Lake Huron. Another of the famous Great Lakes, Lake Huron is the second largest lake in the United States by surface area, and at 59,570 kilometers squared, and the third largest of the Great Lakes by volume of water. Lake Huron also has the longest shoreline of the Great Lakes. Again, Lake Huron borders Canada and the United States, in the form of Ontario and the state of Michigan. Huron has an abundance of fish, which thrive in the deep fresh water. They include species such as walleye, lake sturgeon, alewife, lake trout, and lake whitefish. This area is popular with tourists and locals for fishing, boating, and swimming in the warmer months. Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan measures roughly 57,757 kilometers squared in surface area, and though it is named after the state of Michigan, actually borders 4 different states: Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. It is the only one of the Great Lakes to be completely within the United States, and not in border with Canada. Though the Great Lakes system does feed into one another, Lake Michigan's beautiful shoreline attracts many visitors each year, and the banks actually boast about the sand dunes, including both of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore and Warren Dunes State Park. Like many of the Great Lakes, it is popular for fishing, boating, sailing, and the like, and is home to many native species such as the yellow perch, lake trout, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, and bowfin. Lake Erie. Lake Erie is another one of the Great Lakes and borders several states: Michigan, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and the Canadian province of Ontario. It is the southernmost, shallowest, and has the smallest volume, though its area is still an impressive 25,667 kilometers squared. Though a smaller Great Lake, the shores of Lake Erie contain some of the largest cities in the area, including Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo, New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, and Toledo, Ohio. The lake's main inlet is at the Detroit River, while the primary outflow leads into the Niagara River. The Niagara River is the leading source of hydroelectric power for much of Canada and the United States, furthering the importance of Lake Erie. Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is often associated with Canada, especially as it has the same name as the province of Ontario, which borders, but Lake Ontario also borders New York State, and is the only Great Lake that does not have a border on Michigan State. Its surface area averages 19,011 kilometers squared. Lake Ontario is the last of the Great Lakes chain, and is therefore a major part of the outflow of the lakes into the St. Lawrence River and into the Atlantic Ocean. It was and remains an important part of the St. Lawrence Seaway, which allows trade ships access to the lakes and inland areas from the ocean. Additionally, Lake Ontario is a source of drinking water for roughly 9 million people across Ontario and New York State. Great Salt Lake. The Great Salt Lake in Utah is the only lake on this list that is not a freshwater lake. As the name suggests, Great Salt Lake is high in salinity, or salt, and is the largest saltwater lake in the Western Hemisphere. Its area roughly measures around 5,483 kilometers square, or on the southeast and eastern sides of Great Salt Lake are Salt Lake City and its suburbs, the largest city in Utah with a population of around 200,000 people. Lake of the Woods. Like many of the Great Lakes, Lake of the Woods also borders Canada and the United States. It sits alongside Manitoba, part of Ontario, and the state of Minnesota. Interestingly enough, because of the location of the lake, it separates part of a small area of Minnesota land from the rest of the United States, meaning this part of the state can only be reached by crossing the lake or passing into Canada. This expansive lake has an area of 4,349 kilometers squared, has 105,000 kilometers of shoreline, and contains more than 14,500 different islands. ILIAMNA Lake. ILIAMNA Lake is located in southwestern portion of the state of Alaska, alongside the Alaskan Peninsula. It is the third largest lake that is found entirely in the United States, as so many of these other lakes are shared with Canada. The lake measures at 2,626 kilometers squared, and is best known for its abundance of freshwater fish. Due to its more remote location, wildlife is more common in Alaska, and the lake has a healthy population of sockeye salmon, as well as Dolly Varden trout, northern pike, rainbow trout, Chinook salmon, coho salmon, and lake trout. Lake OAHE. Lake OAHE is a reservoir or human-made lake made by the damming of the Missouri River by the OAHE Dam, and spans areas of both North Dakota and South Dakota. The lake has an area approximately of 1,774 kilometers squared, 3,621 kilometers of shoreline. The lake has a strong population of major fish in it, including the endangered pallid sturgeon. Lake OAHE also has 50 different recreation sites of facilities along its edges. These include everything from camping to picnicking, fishing, hunting, boating, water skiing, swimming, birdwatching, hiking, and biking areas. Lake OKEECHOBEE. Though this lake takes the #1 spot on our list in terms of area, it is surprisingly shallow for its size, with an average depth of around 2.7 meters. Unfortunately, swimming and many similar recreational activities are strongly discouraged as the lake is home to an estimated 28,000 alligators on average. However, the area does have the Lake Okeechobee Scenic Trail, which is part of the larger Florida National Scenic Trail, which runs for about 2,100 kilometers. In Okeechobee, much of the trail runs along a dike, making it a flat, easy terrain for hikers and bikers. That's it for today's list. Anyways, be sure to leave a like to the video if you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys on the next one.